Are you in the market for a 4K HD Ultra camera? Well, stick around, because the MX Brio might be for you. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Havoc. Welcome back to the channel. My friends over at Logitech reached out and said, hey Havoc, you want to try out a new cam? And I'm like, yeah, because I actually need a new webcam for a project I'm working on for stream. And they go, well, we got something for you. MX Brio. So big shout out to my Logitech fam for sending this along. So what I want to do in this video is I want to unbox the camera, kind of go over some of the features. I have a product sheet they sent where I can tell you some of the kind of advanced product specs. We'll look at the device itself, and then we'll switch over to seeing how it looks. So here we are. We have the MX Brio box, Master Series by Logitech. I like the MX series stuff because it's not necessarily meant specifically for gamers and streamers. It's a lot of kind of higher end stuff that's meant for the corporate environment, but it also works great for streamers and content creators. I have a few of the MX line of mice that help really well with like carpal tunnel and stuff. So let's take a look at the box. We have 4K Ultra HD collaboration and streaming webcam. And you can see here's how the device looks itself. 4K 30 FPS or 1080p at 60 FPS. The side talks about what you get in the box. On the back, we have the MX Brio Master Series by Logitech. Tells you it works on Windows, Mac OS, Chrome, and Linux. So has pretty much all your needs covered there, which is great. AI enhanced image quality. And we have sound clear and authentic. I'll talk a little bit more about that stuff when I go into the product specs that they sent. Customize your controls. And like I said here, it works with Chromebook. It is Zoom certified. So again, for the corporate market, Streamlabs compatible, works with Google Meet, and is certified for Microsoft Teams. So regardless of what you use for your video conferencing application for work, this should work just fine. Obviously, it's going to work in OBS as well. Over here on the side, it talks about the instant privacy shutter clutch. If you are familiar with the Logitech like C920s and 922s, they did not have a privacy shutter, but you could purchase or 3D printed ones or 3D print one yourself pretty easily. So that's what I always did. And then they kind of came out with the Stream Cam as the, not the actual Brio, but the Stream Cam for streamers. And I haven't looked too hard, but I haven't found a like privacy shutter clip-on for that. So this is pretty awesome that's built into the device itself. Then just the technical mumbo jumbo jargon on it. Let's go ahead and open it up. Here you go. Hello, bonjour. And it kind of tells you the process to go through. The really kind of cool thing about this device is it works with the Logi Options Plus program. It also works with Logitech G Hub. So for the non-gamers out there, non-streamers, you're probably going to use the Logi Options program. And for all of us that have like Logitech products in the G family, we already have G Hub. So it's going to tell you kind of just how to do things, how to hook it up, the base, etc. But first, let me kind of read to you some of the stuff they have here about the device itself. So we talked about it. It's 4K, 30 FPS, 1080p, 60 FPS, high resolution, ultra sharp image and video. And again, this part, I'm reading it from a sheet they sent me. I want to make sure you get the info that they sent me as well. Auto light correction. So it says look good even in low light. They did a demo for us before this came out, and the kind of difference between the Brio and this here, the MX Brio, is night and day, literally, when it comes to the light. And then we have two beamforming mics. So if you're going to use this as your microphone for your video conferencing, I wouldn't suggest doing it for streaming. I guess you could, but you should sound better and it should reduce the background noise. You have USB to USB connectivity. So the Stream Cam, I'm comparing this to the Stream Cam because that's what I've been using, and the Stream Cam doesn't have a detachable cable. Cable comes out the back of the camera and it's USB-C. So you either need to have a USB-C port that's open, get some sort of dongle that can convert USB-C to a USB-A. And one thing that also was not great about the camera is if you have it far away from your system, you have to get a additional kind of extension cable. So literally how I have a couple of my cameras set up is I have a USB 3.0 extension cable for my stream PC. It goes to a little dongle that goes USB A to USB-C, and then I plug the camera into that. So what's going to be great about this, since as a detachable camera, we can buy just a long USB-C cable that obviously will be able to do the 4K data on it. And we should be able just to plug it in and plug the camera in and we're good to go. We don't have to do any other like extension cords or cables and dongles and stuff like that, unless you need to convert the USB-C to USB-A. And let's see, auto mode. So it has auto image quality that'll do in the software, manual controls. So if you can fine tune everything to look just right for you. And then it talked about the privacy shutter. We'll get into that a little bit later. It's also available in black, pale gray, and graphite. I can't remember. I think I have the graphite here. I don't know where it says, but I obviously don't have the black. I either have the pale gray or the graphite. So we'll take the camera out. We'll put that right there. Typical Logitech packaging. It's all cardboard, so we can recycle everything, molded. And down here at the bottom, kind of gives you just some info about what you do with the camera, where to download stuff. In here we have the cables, and we have this is a pretty thick cable. It's a white USB-C to USB-C cable here. So put that there, and let's put some of this stuff back. Talked about the cable, put the cable up there. Then the camera here, plastic all around on it. The back side, we have the USB-C port. It does come with a base installed. If you are familiar with the stream cam, the bases aren't great because of the way they kind of plastically grip around. Here, I actually have a base right here for a stream cam. So you can see this is the base for the stream cam. It just kind of sits in this, clicks in this plasticky base. Not great in my opinion. The reason I have this on the side of my desk is I don't use them. I take them off and I attach them to like professionally camera like mounted tripod ball heads, so I can position them around and they're secure. And so I guess these are good if you put them on the monitor, but yeah, they're not great in my opinion, just the way the camera sits into them. So it's really good to see a nice hefty little base here. The camera moves around on the base, no problem. This is cool. So this is a magnetic base. Pop that off. I didn't know that. We didn't talk about the base at all when we were going over the product briefing with the Logitech crew. So this is actually really quite awesome. So the base here, and it talks about how to use it. So this is just for your monitor. Nothing to it. Like I said, what I think is cool, it's a magnetic. So you can just pop it right off, but it's in there. It's not gonna go anywhere. So if you do use this base, it does have a swivel. Do that like that, and then you can swivel it around that way. Pop it off, and then what you can do is you can put, I think it's a 1/4 inch thread. You can put a 1/4 inch thread through there for like a camera mount or some sort of like a tripod mount. It's actually pretty heavy. I mean, it's made of metal, and like I said, we have the USB-C plug-in on the back. Here's the base. And then the privacy shutter. So I'm not going to peel off the actual lens plastic yet, but all we should be able to have to do is twist the little white kind of rigid area right there. And you can see shutter opens. And when you're done, pop it closed, shutter closed. So that's really cool. Big props to the Logitech crew for finally including a shutter privacy guard for us content creators. So let me get this set up on the computer. We'll get G-Hub set up and we'll take a look at all the features in G-Hub and see what it looks like. All right, so I have the MX Brio plugged into my gaming computer. The camera you're seeing right now on screen is the Canon M50 Mark II. It's a mirrorless camera. I have it plugged in through a capture card on my stream PC. And like I just said, I have the MX Brio plugged into my gaming PC. And the thought here is I want to put them side by side to each other while also being able to take you through the MX Brio setup and configuration in G-Hub. So here we are, plugged in my gaming PC. We have MX Brio popped up here in G-Hub. Talks about the camera. We got Ultra 4K webcam, all stuff we talked about. AI enhanced image quality. You can fine tune your controls. Good sound quality. There's show mode, privacy, shutter. Well, next, the AI enhanced image quality. Experience 2 times better face visibility with finer image details in difficult light. And that's comparable to the Brio 4K. And then we can fine tune the controls like we talked about, and lighting, white balance, ISO, shutter speed, etc. Or you can do auto mode to take care of it on its own. Most likely I will be using auto mode. And then the microphones, says every word is heard. Now, I am not planning to do a microphone test in this video. And the reason for that is I'm doing this video primarily for streamers and content creators. And in that space, we have, our better microphones, etc. So if you would like me to record a video that kind of goes over the settings for the microphones and you can hear how it sounds, let me know. I can do that in a future video. Just, pop it in the comments below. There's show mode. So the really cool thing about this is when you rotate the camera down, so if you're going to do like a top down, looking at your keyboard or doing some crafting or Legos or whatever, the camera will automatically flip itself. So you don't have to go into your software, OBS or whatever, and rotate the camera. Privacy shutter we talked about. And here we go. So the camera, the image you're seeing at the bottom of your screen with the green screen is the Canon camera. And the reason you're getting some artifacts around it is because I'm using the NVIDIA background remover. So you can kind of sometimes see the background. And the camera in the middle is the Logitech MX Brio. Now the Brio has not been set up at all. We just plugged it in. And in fact, I forgot to take off the plastic. So let's see. That's better. that's a good start, Havoc. A good start to that. So let's go through the settings here. So first up in the camera settings, we have crop. So if you want to crop, you can do default. Automatically, you can crop 78%. You can zoom in. Let's go back to default. Show mode. Enable show mode to present sketches, objects, etc. on your desk when you tilt the camera down. So as we talked about earlier, when you tilt the camera down, it'll automatically flip around. So let's see if we can make it happen here. Let me pop it off the base. All right, so I'm going to tilt the camera down to look at like my keyboard. You can see it automatically flipped around. So things are not upside down. Now, if I go back up, you can see it flip back around. Go back around. So it flips around on its own. That's a really kind of cool feature. I like that. So now you know how to use the show mode. So that's going to be a great camera just for the above angles, just looking down. And that's going to be sweet. I actually right now have a Canon 90D up there that I have mounted to do unboxing videos. So at the beginning of this video where we look down and you unboxing the actual device, that was on the Canon 90D. So I think most likely I'm going to switch it out for this because it doesn't require external power, a lot less to go wrong, right? And so field of view, we can do 65%, 78, 90. We'll keep it 90. We can zoom way in. You see we're zoomed in 400%, and it doesn't look horrible. Let's go zoom back out. And if you zoomed in and you wanted to kind of move around the camera angle, you can do that. So you can do some really kind of potentially fun jump cuts. If you can get this integrated with like OBS, that could be kind of something really cool, really fun. So let's go ahead and reset it back there. You can also hit the reset to default button. Let's go over to exposure. So right now we have a default. There's manual, default, streaming, or create a new. Let's keep it default for now. We'll go to streaming and see what that does. Exposure, let's turn it off. Ooh, you can see, so it got really dark. But that allows us to tweak kind of our shutter speed, etc. So you see kind of the wavy background lines in my video. That's because the camera and the frequency, or the hertz, I believe it's called, of my LED lights are not compatible. So that's where you would tweak the shutter speed here to get that to go looking a little better. So let's see if we can get rid of that. I don't know if you go up or down. We kind of got rid of some of it. The ISO would be part of it too. We can, ooh, that's bright. So let's just go back to auto. What else did we have there? Oh, HDR, but we have HDR here too. So low light compensation, if it's enabled, it's going to allow the webcam to dynamically change the frame rate, etc. Let's turn it off and see. Let me turn off my lights in this room and see what it's going to do. Well, first, let's keep it on. Let's turn off my lights. So now we're just the light of the monitors. That's all we got. And so it started off really blue, and it kind of started adjusting itself. Let's turn the lights back on. And you can see like my Canon camera, my face is kind of hot, like pretty bright. I think that's just because I haven't tweaked the settings for that. Let's turn it back off. We're really blue. And then it slowly fades into a more normal color. So that's actually really cool. I like the way it, transitioned, and it looks really good to me. I mean, all right, so let's turn the lights back on. Let's get rid of the low light compensation and see what this does. Turn off, we're blue. It goes, it doesn't look great. Definitely looks better with it turned on. And then let's go to HDR. So HDR combines multiple exposures to capture a broader range of light. So let's turn that off. We'll flicker there. Turn off the light. Yeah, that doesn't look great. Let's turn that on. It's better with it on for sure. It's tough lighting too because of, I keep it kind of yellowish lighting in my room. I don't like the fluorescent look of some LED lights. Plus we have all that LED lights in the computer behind me. So let's go over here to manual. Let's go back to default. Also, when you change some settings, it switches it to manual. So default, let's look what streaming does. Streaming didn't seem to change anything. So I don't know what the streaming preset does, but all right, image. So we have 4 different settings. We have default, black and white, cooler, and warmer. Create your own, do manual. So we're on default, let's go black and white. Creates a black and white image as it should. We have cooler. Let's go back to default though, and then we can compare it against cooler. So there we have our default. Cooler has a more of a blue tone. And then if we go to warmer, more of the yellowish tone kind of. And we can do the temperature compensation here. I don't want to do that right now. Let's go default. Auto white balancing, we'll turn that off. And yeah, a little more yellowy. Turn the light off. We're blue. And we're staying blue because we have the auto white balance off. So let's turn that on. It's blue, and then it gets a little more natural kind of tone. So look, this isn't going to be like a mirrorless camera, right? A DSLR. It's not what this is supposed to be, but so far I'm liking it, the quality more than like the stream cam. Light back on, and then we have, you know, our brightness, all that kind of stuff, and then our focus. So we can do default focus, autofocus, turn it off. So now we're 100% manual focus. So if we try to focus on, can we use the keyboard? We can. So that's 0. I feel like we're out of focus a little bit. That's a little sharper. So 20-ish. Now let's go. Put a box in front of it. It's still focused on the background. Still focus me. And then if we turn on the autofocus, I feel like the autofocus has it more focused on the computer in the background than me. So box. It's too close. Not a macro camera, Havoc. There we go. So we're focused there, and let's go. That was pretty quick. So focused on that, and then so like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds-ish autofocus. So that's pretty nice. Device settings for the Brio. Oh, here you go. Here's your anti-flicker for the Hertz. So help reduce the flickering of webcam. Disable this device in G-Hub. So like, for example, if you wanted to manage this device in the Logi Options Plus software, you would click that here to disable the G-Hub software. You can click the 50 Hertz. Let's see if this makes it a little more flickery in my room. Yeah, so you can see definite lines in the background across my wall. It almost looks like they're blinds or mini blinds or shutters. That's the megahertz frequency. So if we go back there, back into settings, and then we'll do 60 Hertz. And like I said, to help reduce flickering in your webcam video, set this value to match the power line frequency for your location. So it's going to depend on just where you're located. So put back 60 Hertz, and you can see the lines in the background are now gone. And there you have it, the MX Brio by our friends over at Logitech. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below where you can pick it up. But make sure you head over to logi.gg/havoc, and then you can use code HAVOC10 to save yourself some money. Link in the description below. And as I said earlier in the video, if you want to hear the sound quality of this, let me know in the comments. It's not really applicable to content creators, but you know, if you're using this for Zoom calls or something, it might be. Just let me know, and I'll find the room to make a video. Thank you all for the support. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep doing good.